The episode 5 begins with Ju-won suggesting to little So-hui that they should first ask San-ha if he wants to go to Seoul with them. Meanwhile, Jung-ji tries to smooth things over with San-ha's mother, but she criticizes him for being too lenient in raising San-ha, which has made him spoiled. Jung-ji responds that she should first ask their son if he actually wants to go to Seoul, since he's only being defensive because she hurt him emotionally. Outside, after a punch, San-ha remains furious and confronts Rae-jum, calling him a kid who needs his mommy. Ju-won steps in to break up the fight. During the clash, Young-hee accuses Jung-ji of raising his children without discipline. At dinner, everyone sits in silence with tension in the air. Ju-won quietly explains to Dae-wook what happened. The boys' snide remarks continue until Dae-wook scolds them, and they leave the table. Ju-won complains to Dal, saying she hasn't been able to eat properly for a week because of their arguments. She's stressed because they keep picking different foods, leaving her unsure of how to handle it. At school, Ju-won tells Dal she needs to make her brothers reconcile before Rae-jum's upcoming birthday. Jun-ho appears, gives Ju-won some cold medicine, and invites her on a bike trail ride. He shows her a park poster that says riding with friends strengthens friendships. Ju-won decides to invite her brothers, using the tactic of telling each that she'll only be with the other. Neither wants to be left out, so it works. She invites Dal, too. On the day of the ride, Dal tricks her mom into thinking she'll be studying at the cram school. The park is packed because girls from school heard that Ju-won's brothers would be there. Jun-ho arrives and takes Ju-won's hand, but Rae-jum and San-ha aren't having it. They wait for Dal to arrive, but when Jun-ho's turn comes, they don't even let him get on the bike. Off they go as a trio. Ju-won pedals with determination, listening to music so her brothers can talk and hopefully make up. Meanwhile, some boys from school arrive at the park chasing after girls and spot Dal, heading her way. Despite having a cold, Ju-won's effort seems to pay off as her brothers start to talk. Rae-jum even attempts to apologize, but San-ha remains unconvinced. The teasing between them escalates, leaving Ju-won torn between pedaling on or stopping to intervene in the bickering. What a mess! By the end of the trail, she's frustrated and tells them to go off alone while she looks for Dal. Dal is being harassed by some boys, and Ju-won, in search of water, sees her and rushes over to defend her, but faints in the process. The boys try to help and run to get water. Rae-jum and San-ha, hearing what's happening, rush over. Seeing Ju-won passed out, they assume the boys hurt her and start a fight, which lands everyone at the police station. San-ha apologizes for the misunderstanding when Dae-wook, his father, arrives. After realizing that the sergeant is San-ha's dad, the boys think the apology was just to avoid trouble. Dae-wook pretends to order a severe punishment, which makes the boys feel sorry and drop the charges. Dae-wook drives everyone home and drops Dal off at the cram school. Her mother sees her getting out of the car and demands an explanation, saying Dal is her only hope. Dal says she was with Ju-won and her brothers, adding that San-ha has excellent grades and reading his notes is better than any cram school. Ju-won falls asleep in the car and is carried to bed. Before dozing off completely, she asks if her brothers have made up, and they decide to pretend they have. The next morning, Ju-won is thrilled to finally have a peaceful breakfast. She and Dal hear a rumor that Rae-jum likes Dal because he ran to defend her. Ju-won encourages Dal to ask him out. Hui-ju goes up to Rae-jum to ask if he likes Dal. Rae-jum gets annoyed by the approach and says Dal doesn't stand a chance with him, which Dal overhears and runs off. Ju-won tries to comfort her friend, urging her not to give up. Dal decides to end the rumor, stating she'll only think about dating in college, but she's clearly sad. Ju-won and San-ha go to the mall to buy a birthday gift for Rae-jum. San-ha also buys Ju-won a pair of shoes, and while putting them on her, he promises to get something even nicer next time. A saleswoman thinks they're a cute couple and gives them a discount, which Ju-won accepts without letting San-ha explain. So-hui spots San-ha at the mall and, running to him, ends up falling down the stairs. Young-hee, seeing her daughter injured, blames San-ha, but Ju-won defends him, saying he's brought luck to her family. Sanha seems increasingly drawn to her. On Rajam's birthday, everyone gets ready to celebrate. Ju-won goes to Sanha's room to call him, and he scolds her, asking her to knock from now on. Things between them seem to be changing. Rajam's aunt comments that he might be better off living with his biological father, feeling they owe Jumji for 10 years. Jumji, overhearing, looks visibly upset. At dinner, he, now tipsy, vents, saying it's a joy to care for his children and that they owe him nothing. He adds that he owes them for keeping him grounded and that they shouldn't feel like they're walking on eggshells around him. He also doesn't understand why the boys should be punished for being abandoned by their mothers and mistreated by their aunt. She tearfully apologizes. Rajam and Ju-won put Jumji to bed, while Sanha looks after the aunt, who tells him he's not like Rajam, as Sanha's father paid for everything. Sanha asserts that he and Rajam are the same and that Jumji doesn't see them any differently. Rajam hears this, and later, the aunt apologizes to Rajam. He says he understands her perspective, and she advises him to forget his mother. Poor Rajam. He pretends he doesn't remember her and says he'll do good for both Jumji and her as a form of repayment. The trio gathers on the rooftop, and it seems they're at peace. The next day, Jumji is at the restaurant when, guess who shows up? Rajam's biological mother. Jumji is shocked. These boys just can't catch a break, and neither can we, right? If you enjoyed, don't forget to follow our channel, subscribe, and leave a like or comment to help us out.